Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to actually hop into the Great League here for this specialty cup, which is going to be the single type cup, which means every Pokemon that has a single type is going to be eligible. There's a few that are excluded, but for the most part, that's what this cup is, single type Pokemon. So this is pretty interesting here. Now I'm going to be using my level 51 Wobbuffet, which doesn't have the best IVs, and we went over that. Still a decent Pokemon that I do have going on here, but we do have a 98, 15, 15, 14, which gonna have to get a whole lot more candies for that. But we're going to be pairing it up with Gramble. We do have Laloon out here right now. It was a fun pick, but I was seeing myself getting countered pretty hard with it, with the Pokemon that was throwing at me. So I do decide to swap that out for Shadow Legacy Ninetales with Ember. This thing is absolutely amazing in this cup. Gramble is going to be regular. I do have a Shadow in the Great League, but we're just... I was spacing it out. It would have been good to go in there with the Shadow one, but this one's nice as well because you're still hitting hard and you're going to be able to take the hits a lot better, especially because we are in the Great League here. All right, so you already know I don't particularly like the Great League. It is, it's not too fun a lot of times, but when we do have some of these newer cups, I do like to dabble in them, especially this, because this is the first time we've seen a cup where it's only single typing. So absolutely a blast here. And I did have fun, and it was very algorithmic, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, we did have some good sets, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. If you do enjoy my content, please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. And let's go ahead and see what we have. Leading with Gramble. So I'm going to be swapping it out, and we're going to go unedited here for a bit so you can see how bad the algorithm was. And whenever I swap the Pokemon, there's just instantaneously another one that's going to be countering me as opposed to the other one. So you saw the Ninetales, right? Right, great. All right, so let's see what we have going on here. And again, we are going to be going unedited. And one more time, if you can hit that like button, that'd be much appreciated. All right, Hacksaur's out here putting in the work and lowering my attack constantly with that breaking swipe. But they also have Night Slash too, so they're hitting that up super effective. And now we're going to go ahead and go for the return. Since it is a Purified, that's what we do have going on here, as well as Mirror Coat and Counter. You could go with Charm on the Wobbuffet, but I don't really recommend that. I think you should go with Counter. Bringing in the Gramble, and we're going to let this go because everything's resisted. We don't need to worry about it. They don't have Earthquake. They've got their own Shadow Ninetales, so we bring in the Laloon, and they have a Dragonair in the back. Now, I should have went for a double Grass Knot here. Shouldn't have went for Thunder. It's not a horrible decision, but whatever. They're going to be throwing their energy here, which is not going to KO, but a couple more Dragon Breath should take us out. And we actually are able to get to the Grass Knot. Both of these moves are not very effective, but it's still going to be able to do a lot there. Or at least bring them low enough to take them out instantly. Now, this is not, I mean, it wouldn't typically be a good position that we are in here, but since they're shieldless, we've got two shields. Yeah, it's no problem at all. Getting to that crunch, and our Gramble is going to be able to take the win. Now, I really do not know which one's the showcase, to be honest with you. If actually at probably Ninetales. So yeah, everything did great. I had a blast with this whole team here. Okay, you saw that lead? You saw that? You saw that? We put the Gramble up front, now we get a steal. You saw that? All right. Okay. Did I say that enough? You saw that? All right, I'll stop. Okay, probably annoying now. All right, we got a Muck out here. Actually, a really solid pick for the single cup is going to be Muck. Poison Jab. You can go with Acid Spray. I don't know. Thunder Punch is also going to work. The Dark Pulse you definitely want. All right. But Wobbuffet is such an absolute beast of a tank that it just keeps absorbing these Dark Pulses. Granted that these Dark Pulses are not getting stabbed. So there is that. We're going to go ahead and back right out here. Like I said, we're going to go unedited for a second so you can see. Now, we keep swapping the Pokemon. We're maintaining the team. And I get it. When you keep swapping out your team, you don't get comfortable. Look, I've been doing this for years. You think I don't know that? Come on. You're preaching to the choir, but go ahead and leave those comments. That's perfectly fine. I'm not barking at you. I'm just saying. I get it. You have to get comfortable with your team and know it. Well, all we're doing is swapping them around. We're not switching them anything out. Now we put the Ninetales up front. We get a Dragon. Do you see this shit? Do you see what I have to deal with? This is not a coincidence, but we'll get off that and just kind of look at it as it happens. So we're going to go ahead and try to deal with the situation, bringing in Wobbuffet. They did get off a breaking swipe, lowering our stats, and then swapping into Ninetales here, which it's it's a decent matchup. It's whatever. It's a whatever matchup, to be honest with you here. Okay, so I would assume they're going to throw Weather Ball because they probably have Psyshock, where it looks like we're trying to build up to that return here. We will survive this, no problem. And I don't know if they can farm us down here. Does that end the legacy on that Ninetales? No, it's a Fire Spin. Okay. So it looks like we're going to be good to, unfortunately, not get to the return, but we're going to be able to get to the Mirror Coat, which does diddly squat. Now, you got to keep in mind that the Haxorus did lower our attack. We're going to go ahead and bring in our own Ninetales here to absorb a Weather Ball, I would assume, and that's exactly what it is, as the Gramble doesn't really want to see this. I'm going to assume that's another Weather Ball since it was fairly quick, but it's a Side Shock, I should have known. And they're swapping into a Hypno, so I bring in the Gramble. We are up a shield, so we're looking pretty good in this situation here. We should be able to pull this off, although we do have a Haxorus that we do need to worry about here. They're already getting a shield from us, bringing them down pretty low with that charm damage. You gotta love it, folks. Hitting them with a crunch. And, oh, this is interesting. Now, we don't need to really shield this up. I mean, that would be kind of silly. We'll bring in the Ninetales, shield this up, and we're going to have so much energy we'll be able to... Well, I don't think we could take out the Haxorus. Let's see. We got a Ninetales and then a Haxorus to deal with. No, we're going to lose this. Okay, so I'm leaving these in here so you can see the nonsense that I'm dealing with. But don't worry, we're going to see some really juicy battles as well. Okay, let's go ahead and put Gramble up front. Ninetales in the back and Wobbuffet in the middle. Let's see what they're going to throw at us now. Haxorus last time to counter me. What are they going to counter me with this time? Finally, we got a good one. You're like, oh, well, that's a good lead. It is. Oh, and look, a good swap. Now you're going to see the results of what happens when you get the algorithm on your end looking pretty good. All right, so let's see what happens here. Of course, we're going to win this. It's over. It's a wrap. So much skill involved, huh? So much esports skill. You can feel it seeping through the screen. Okay. All right, that was sarcasm if you didn't pick that up. Bringing in the Gramble here. Got to look out for Rock Slide still, so we're going to go ahead and shield that up and take them out with 2 charms. And they've got another fighter in the back, so it looks like the algorithm was absolutely in my favor for once. Finally. Okay. Now, I don't want easy wins or easy leads, but you see what's going on here. All right, so they're in a bad position. This is obviously a loss. They're putting up a fight until the end, looks like here. I bring in Wobbuffet because I just wanted it to see some action. I know I could have just Gramble Charm down, but prolonging this battle here, taking that win. All right, what do we got? Leading with Gramble, we're met with the Meganium. Neutral, fine. Finally, we're not getting hard countered here. This is a good matchup. And another reason why I don't really want to go with the Shadow 2, probably why I didn't pick it, is because Gramble Shadow in the Great League, it just can't take a hit. So we're catching a Frenzy Plant with the Wobbuffet. I mean, this thing is an absolute, just a tank. That's it. It's just a tank. Damage sucks. Return's doing a decent amount, but it takes a decent amount of time to get there, although counter is an absolute amazing move to have on this thing. They literally gave it the 2 best quick moves, for the most part. Counter and Charm. Pretty crazy, right? All right, so we're putting in the work up against this Clefable here. We're looking pretty good. I think we're going to let this go as well. All right, no problem. And I think we're going to farm them down. We're going to bring in Ninetales here, right? Let's go ahead and do that. They've got another Meteor Mash ready to go, but it's not very effective. And then they swap back into that Meganium up against my Ninetales. Sounds good to me. Gramble in the back holding on for dear life. They still have 2 shields. We're farming them down. What you got? You could bring that Gramble so I can farm you down some more? Are you going to reveal your last Pokemon? What you got for me here? Another Charm user. Okay, this is perfectly fine. We got all this energy built up. We're Fire type. We're looking great here. Getting to the next Weather Ball. And I think as soon as we get to this, we're going to want to swap. And I do swap into my Gramble. Yep, right about now. Going. And they are going to be catching a Crunch. That was a good, I'm going to say that was a good catch for sure. But unfortunately at this point, it's really not going to do much because that Charm just took them out. You saw that Charm I stuck through there? They're out here. Yeah, I can literally like put the phone down and I would have won. All right, so looks like we're doing pretty good. Are we going to get countered this time? How hard or how good of a lead are we going to get? Let's see what we got going on here, folks. Gramble in the lead and Hypno. Okay, another neutral one. Thank you. It's about time. It was getting a little rough there. Now I'm leaving out quite a bit. I'm not going to go through all of the unedited battles. I left out about a good 20 minutes worth of hard counters, right? So anyways, Hypno matchup. Well, they're going to be taking super effective with a Crunch. So this is pretty good, and we're doing a ton with Charm. We've gotten a shield out of them. Now we're going to let this go, and we're going to go in here and farm them down. Or at least try to farm them down with the Ninetales. Okay, come on. Beautiful. Oh, when they're bringing in a Clefable? I mean, this could be a good thing, and it could be a bad thing. The bad thing is that we need our Ninetales for whatever's in the back. The good news is there's a good matchup. Okay. All right, so we're getting to another Weather Ball here. If they shield this up, there's definitely something in the back that does not want to see fire. Okay, let it go. Oh, it's a grass type. Yep, that's right, Mechanium. This is pretty much a wrap. We were going to take this win here. We're going to get their last shield, swap into the Wobbuffet, so we can have them use up that energy. You've seen how much a Frenzy Plant did last time. Hardly anything. Wobbuffet is just like that. They see that, they say, I'm good, no bueno, and they back out, and we take the win, and we're moving it on to our next opponent here. Let's see what we're going to be met with this time. Let's go. Having a blast. Ninetales is an absolute amazing Pokemon to have, especially with that Legacy Ember. That's the Legacy move. We got a mirror match, except for theirs is Shadow. So we're going to both KO each other at the same time if we keep on going. But they're swapping into their Clefable, so we're going to go ahead and bring in our Ninetales. And we'll let this go. It is just going to be... well, never mind. It's a Moonblast. Still not very effective. Doing a lot of damage because we're in the Great League and also we're Shadow. So we're getting off the Weather Ball, taking that win, still in the yellow, have energy ready to go. And this is looking amazing. What we're going to simply do here is bring in the... Wobbuffet, and it handles Vigoroth like you have no idea. Watch this. Okay. You're like, I've been watching. I've been staring at the video already. Alright, it's funny when you're doing something and or somebody else is doing something and you've been watching the whole time. They're like, watch this. It's usually little kids that say that, right? Like, I mean, I've been watching you the last 10 minutes. All right, taking that win, looking good. Okay, let's keep it moving here. What do we got for our next battle? Looks like I did not... cut out that edit the way I needed to, but it doesn't matter. All right, so we met with a Vigoroth. Doable. Again, not having Shadow is going to enable me to just simply let this go. If we were Shadow, that would have bring us into the red, and they probably would have been able to counter us down. Easy money right there. But since we're non-Shadow, we're going to go ahead and let it go. Hit that Crunch, and they're going to be shielding up that Crunch. Now, I kind of wanted to shield this up to maybe win the swap, but I wasn't counting. I think they're almost doing another Body Slam here. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Wobbuffet, but that's not happening. I was counting completely wrong. We counted them down with Wobbuffet, and they bring in an Umbreon. Well, that's not good. We're weak to Dark, so let's see how we can figure this out here, but let's see how we can absorb this Dark Pulse. The harder hitting Dark move that Umbreon does have, and it's doing a decent amount, but Wobbuffet is still just absorbing it like a champion. So we're going to go ahead and swap into our Ninetales at this point here, so we can start doing a little bit more damage, although the Wobbuffet was putting a good dent in them, and they've got a Muck in the back. So this is a good thing that we kind of swapped here so we can handle the situation. Going for the Psy Strike right away, Psy Shock right away, and they're shielding it up. Of course they are, and now they're shieldless at this point. We're going to let this go and calling the Acid Spray. Now they're shieldless. This is going to KO them. Now I was a little worried that they were going to be able to get a decent amount of farm on me with their Umbreon, but as long as we can get to this Weather Ball, we're good. We're golden. The Wobbuffet's going to be able to take it's going to take about 2 Dark Pulses, maybe 3 to take us out at this point, so we're perfectly fine. And we're going to look good taking this win here with Wobbuffet, baby, and Ninetales and Granbull. Give it a shot. It's a good team, unless they hard counter you. What do we got next? A Wobbuffet. Let's go. It is purified. It's got that lipstick. Got a female one over there. Silly old Wobbuffet. Actually useful for something. Now, I'm going to tell you what else it's useful for. If you max out a Wobbuffet, you're like, it's okay in certain cups, but I don't really use it too often. And was it really worth my investment? Absolutely. Wobbuffet's a cool Pokemon. If you max one out, drop it in a gym. It's pretty annoying to take out. Okay, so you can do that, and it'll help you defend the gym. Anyways, I feel like it's one of the best gym defenders. That Wigglytuff, Fable, you know, all those tanky things. Anyways, what do we got going on here? Granbull surviving, getting off a close combat on their Shadow or Shiny Granbull, and swapping into our Wobbuffet as they do swap into their Registeel. Not a particularly great situation here. Let's see how much a Zap Cannon does. They're going to lower our attack. We're going to do that much less at this point. So we already know we're going to be able to absorb that no problem, but the charge moves here are not helping us out whatsoever. Bringing them down into the yellow at least. Okay, sounds good. But yeah, they're going to just keep lowering our attack here, and we're going to do less and less and less. Now, we're going to swap into our Granbull. What I wanted to happen here was to catch, all right? But that didn't happen, now did it? And I did not mean to bring in the Ninetales. I literally tapped on the freaking Wobbuffet, but it bring in the Ninetales. So at this point, I'm like, ugh. My brother was sitting next to me. I was like, oh my gosh, this game, man. It's just, I can't believe it. If it's not one thing, it's another. I literally tapped on the Wobbuffet, but okay. But it looks like we're going to be able to pull it off. My complaining turned into, oh, hold on, wait a minute. And we get to the mirror coat, and we're going to be able to take the win. Are you kidding me? Let's get it. All right. Couldn't believe it. Thought I was going to lose that one because it Pick the wrong damn Pokemon. Next battle, Gramble, Machamp. Looks like we can't complain about the algorithm anymore for this video, now can we? Alright, and we're seeing them swap into their Vigoroth. And here we go, yet again, another masterfully put together skillful battle from top tier talent, baby. You already know it. Oh yeah, I'm joking by the way again, okay? Alright, let's have some fun here. Yeah, Wobbuffet is killing it, folks. It is killing the scene over here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and counter them down and come out of this with a lot of energy. They can go for another body slam and bring us into the low red. That's perfectly fine. We're still looking okay. And going to go ahead and start throwing... Oh, that's that. They bring in Machamp. We're in an amazing position. What is in the back that doesn't want to see a Wobbuffet's charge move, I wonder? Pretty interesting. Going for another one and taking out the Machamp. They've got... Oh, a Registeel. Okay. So as soon as I bring in the Ninetales, they know it's over. They back out, we take the win, we move on to our next opponent here. Finally, we're looking pretty good. What do we got? A good lead, bad lead? It's a decent lead. It's a neutral kind of a lead. At least it's not up against Ninetales, let's put it that way. Regirock, let's have it. Let's go. Let's have a little fun here. We can let this go as we're not Shadow. We don't need to worry about getting one-shotted. And that lock-on is certainly not going to KO. Now, they swapped into this Grottle here, and I was like, oh, I thought I was going to be able to get to my charge move. The son of a gun farmed me down. Very nice. Nice Shadow Razor Leaf user. Very strong. Bringing in the Ninetales to handle the situation here. And, of course, they're going to be bringing back the old Regirock. We're going to go ahead and shield this up. Swap into our Wobbuffet because we want to preserve it. We don't want our Ninetales to go down. It's worth a shield. Absolutely. Since Wobbuffet is such an amazing tank, we're going to let all this go. Even a Stone Edge from Regirock is not even doing that much. That's freaking nuts. What do they got back there? What was that we just seen? Hypno. Okay. Yeah, this is going to get pretty close. We landed the return, which is perfect. We need a shield here from the Mirror Coat. Beautiful. This is looking like we could potentially pull this off, but it's actually going to be... we're going to end up winning with probably a couple of HP. It's going to be very, very close. All right, so we're getting hit by a Shadow Ball. That kind of really annoyed me. I thought at this point it was a wrap. So we get to 2 Weather Balls with literally 1 HP. And since they threw, we're going to be able to potentially win this. If they kept on quick moving, I would have lost. They would have snuck in a hit or a confusion there. I would have went down. It's over. Since they used a charge move, they stopped themselves. Yes, a confusion just went through, but the damage didn't register. We're able to tap the charge move first, take the win. We're looking good. And taking some more wins. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!